So this is what's been driving me crazy. Here's our bug. When the bug comes in and it's hungry, bug is hungry. Hungry bug. Let's zoom out. Where does it decide to go? Because if these bugs ate the forest the way they eat our garden, we'd lose our forest in a week. So why do these bugs always end up in the garden and not in the forest? It's because bugs can't eat healthy plants. And the moment you realize that, you'll never look at gardening the same again. So, welcome to Yard Eaters. My name is Matt. Today, we're going to talk about bad bugs and how to get rid of them. Let's get started. So let's get all sciencey. The term you actually need to understand is called trophobiosis. And what it means is when plants are healthy, they are using amino acids, mosquitoes using amino acids to build complex proteins. And those complex proteins are indigestible to the bugs that you hate.
I can't eat that.
But when a plant is stressed, so it doesn't get enough water, the plant starts to actually break those proteins down and back into amino acids, and it starts stuffing them into the leaves. And it stuffs so many into the leaves, because it has nowhere to put them, that it actually starts oozing out of the leaves into the soup. And that soup is the only thing that those bugs that you hate can eat. And so they are fine-tuned to finding this soup. It smells different. It looks different to them. And so to a plant that's stressed, it's screaming to these bugs, here's a buffet. But to a healthy plant, it's completely invisible to them. So how do bugs find stressed plants in the yard? Well, they have tuned receivers picking up signals that all those plants are broadcasting. And each bug uses a different tool to pick up those signals. So I made this cool little diagram here. So your aphids and whiteflies, they use scent, and they're going to be looking for ammonia gas. And your plants are emitting ammonia gas when they are in a stressed and starved state. Your caterpillar moths also use scent, and they're going to be looking for volatile chemical compounds that your plants are also secreting. Some bugs actually use infrared light to pick up on the plants, and any bug, pretty much any bug, uses UV light. So to you and me, we just see a green leaf. But when the plant is stressed, the chlorophyll patterns in the plant shift, and the plant color actually changes. The plant lights up like a neon sign. So these bugs aren't randomly attacking any plant in the yard. They are precision targeting the weakest ones they can find. Now this is where most people get it wrong. You see a bug, you panic, you grab your keys, run to Home Depot, head down the aisle, and grab a bottle of poison. I mean pesticide. But this is just a Band-Aid. You're treating the symptom and not solving the root problem. Pesticides are a poison, but fertilizers are the gateway drug. High salt fertilizers absolutely wreck our living soil. They kill the microbes that feed our plants, they stall the plant's metabolism, and the moment that metabolism stalls, the dinner bell for all of those bugs you love so much just rings even louder. So let's get off the treadmill and let's focus on the root cause, your soil. Now look, you're not going to fix your soil overnight. So while you're building your long game, here are 4 Band-Aids that are actually going to work. First, get them off the plant with your hand. Now, this is the oldest trick in the book. You walk your rows every single morning with a bucket of soap and water. And if you find something like a tomato hornworm or a cabbage worm or a Japanese beetle, you drop them in the bucket. If you don't want to grab them, wear some gloves or grab a damp rag. And wipe them off the leaves. Either way, a single tomato hornworm can strip a leaf in 48 hours. So make sure you're doing your daily walks and you don't let them chew on your plant for an entire week before you figure them out. Second, and my personal favorite, the hose. Grab a hose with a good pressure nozzle and blast them off. This works great for your aphids, your whiteflies, your mealybugs. Do it first thing in the morning. The leaves get all day to dry, and you won't invite any fungal problems overnight. So keep in mind, you're going to have to do this multiple days. Aphids reproduce very fast, and often we figure them out after they've multiplied multiple times. So blast them for an entire week, once a day, and then see if you've completely removed the colony or not. Now third, when you've spent an entire week hosing them off and that still didn't do it, now escalate. Insecticidal soap kills those soft body bugs right on contact, like your aphids, mites, and your whiteflies. Now neem oil goes a step further. It's a slow-acting plant extract that messes with the insect's hormones, so they stop feeding and stop reproducing. Together, the soap knocks down the adults, and the neem oil prevents the next generation. Now both are organic and they both break down fast, but here's the rule. Spray in the late afternoon. By then your pollinators have done their work for the day and headed home, so you're hitting the pests without taking out your bees and potentially other beneficial insects. Fourth, follow up with your compost tea. You're feeding the leaves and the soil at the same time, putting beneficial microbes right where the pests are landing. Now underneath all of this, get a soil test and stop guessing. A soil test is your garden's annual physical. It tells you what's out of balance and what your plants are missing. So to summarize, pick what you can by hand, spray when you have to, feed to protect what's left, and test to figure out why they came in the first place. So what have we learned? The bugs are not the problem. Yes, I knew you'd figure it out. The soil is. When that fungal and microbial life that you depend on so much to feed your plants is imbalanced or non-existent, the plants cannot get the nutrients they need to build the complex proteins they need to be healthy. So, how do we do that? How do we introduce that microbial life into your soil? Well, there's two ways to do it. You can build it or you can buy it. If you want to build it yourself, that's a 4 to 6 week thermal compost recipe. Diverse ingredients, the right moisture, right temperature, turned on a schedule to build a fully aerobic environment full of beneficial bacteria and fungi. If you don't have the time, buy a quality biocomplete compost from somebody who's already done it right. You can look on Facebook Marketplace or a local landscape company. Either way, the fastest way to get that life into your yard is with a compost tea. It's a brew of all the microbial life you're ever going to need. Bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and nematodes washed off of good compost into water, and then you take that water and you spray it all over your soil. If you don't want to wait the 4 to 6 weeks to build aerobic compost yourself, you take this route. Because here's the truth. Without that microbial life, you don't have soil, you have dirt. So fix the biology in your soil and the plants will build the fortress themselves. I hope you're noticing the trend here. The bugs are not the enemy, they're the messenger. Fix your soil, build healthy plants, and the garbage truck bugs will apparently swim right by it, but I mean fly. Eat the homegrown stuff, stay healthy, and follow me so I can show you how to eat from your yard. I'll see you next time.